So Namibia has sort of captured the attention of the international world because of the discovery of green hydrogen and oil and gas. But we were known as a hub of great potential, a country with a lot of potential. Namibia is the second largest producer of uranium, with our biomass potential and abundant wind and solar resources. We are the only African country that exports beef to China, the EU, and the USA. We are making moves to compete at a global level in the small livestock, meat, dates, blueberries, and grape subsectors. And beyond energy and agriculture, Namibia's breathtaking landscapes, our diverse culture, and rich wildlife make it an irresistible tourism destination. We do not know how long you'll be here, but we would recommend that you make a visit. So this is an overview of Namibia. We export about 4.7 billion. Our GDP is 13 billion US dollars. We've got a population of 2.5 million Namibians, but 824,000 square kilometers of just land, breathtaking. From the north to the south, a vast, vast contrast of greenery to shrubbery to dry lands, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Our capital is Windhoek. You are in the capital right now. Our GDP per capita is 4,200 US dollars. We've got a democratic constitution, a multi-party parliament. We import about 7.1 billion in terms of goods and services. We speak 13 languages, but the business language in Namibia is English. So from a climate point of view, as I mentioned, very arid, and arid to semi-arid. And we are bordering Angola, Botswana, South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Namibia is classified, I think our Honorable Minister touched on this, that we are classified as an upper middle income country. And that is really based on our GDP per capita. So we've got 2.5 million people, so we're doing fairly well. However, the inequalities based on income and wealth distribution was what was really bothering us, or bothering the government of our country. We've got one of the highest levels of inequality in the world, and as our Honorable Minister pointed out, that is the reason we are looking for investments into our country to add value locally and to help build Namibia. Our priority sectors, a few years ago, Namibia was focused a lot on its primary industries, and as a government, the government decided that we need to diversify our economy and also create employment opportunities for different Namibians. Because if I'm only working in the mining sector, and I didn't necessarily study to work there, then I don't have an opportunity for employment. And so what the government decided is we need to diversify, and these are the sectors that we've looked at: renewable energy, metals, mining, and adjacent industries. And those two, James will expand on that. So food industry, especially agriculture, machinery and electronics, e-commerce, tourism, exploration, mining and oil and gas, business services, transport and logistics, chemicals and basic materials. So we've got five, as the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, we've got 5 sectors that we focus on, and that's renewable energy, agriculture and food industry, tourism, mining, especially in terms of beneficiation and adding value in the country, and in business services. So those are 5 key sectors we are focused on as an investment board, and predominantly as a mandate provided to us by government. So if we look at exports and imports of goods and services, Namibia has seen over the years a trade deficit, so we import more than what we export, but that we hope to change in the near future. Between South Korea and Namibia, Namibia imports a lot more from South Korea than what we export to South Korea. So if we look at machinery and equipment are the biggest items that we export to South Korea. Vehicles and automotive parts, or rather what we import from South Korea, from Kia and Hyundai, and electronic equipment, so telecommunications equipment and electronic components, chemicals and chemical products. So we import various chemicals and chemical products, including pharmaceuticals, from Korea to Namibia. And our textiles and apparels, this category includes textiles and clothing material. So in terms of exports to South Korea, we've seen exports in mineral resources, particularly uranium and diamonds, fish and seafood, products such as fish fillets, frozen fish and other seafood, and agricultural products. These include beef, grapes, dates, and among other products, and other metals and many processed goods. So that's what Namibia exports to South Korea. If we look at our energy sector, and I will really just touch on this very quickly, James is going to give a better highlight where this is concerned. Our energy sector consists of oil and gas, green hydrogen, renewable energy, uranium, and biomass. So those are the key sectors or the key elements that constitute our energy sector. So we're developing, as our minister said, we're developing our green hydrogen sector as well as our oil and gas. And really, renewable energies where we saw a lot of investment interest coming to our country. But as I said earlier on, it's very important that we get energy security in our country to develop our country. So if we go to metals and mineral and the value chain in there, and the value chains. So we've seen that mining, as we said, mining and exploration have contributed about 12.2% to the GDP of Namibia. These various natural resources are really the game changers that we've had thus far. Diamonds, uranium, copper, gold, zinc, lead, tin, graphite, etc. Namibia is ranked among the top 10 countries in Africa in terms of investment attractiveness. The Fraser survey basically looks at, Fraser survey basically looks at ranking different countries around perceptions, policy perceptions, as well as investment attractiveness, especially in the mining sector. So when we look at top 10 countries in Africa in terms of investment attractiveness, in other words, attracting investments in the mining sector, and then Fraser also ranks Namibia among the top 3 for policy perceptions in Africa. In other words, our policy for mining is really great, ranked amongst the top 3. Thank you very much, Your Honourable Minister. At COP27, Namibia signed an MOU with the EU to cooperate on green hydrogen and critical raw materials, and I will allow James to give more insight into that when he please. So why should you invest in Namibia? Many of us will look at Namibia and think, we've got 2.5 million people. That country only has 2.5 million people. So we see Namibia as really a gateway to many other markets. Add value here. We want to create employment for Namibians, gainful employment for Namibians. And we are positioned very well. So you've got market access. We are signatories to the African Union. So we are members of SACO, SADC, COMESA. We have trade agreements with the European Union through the EPA agreement, USA through AGOA, and South America, Mercosur. So if you see Namibia as a place to actually manufacture your products or add value to the products here, and then we've got trade agreements that facilitate access to different markets. I mean, SADC, we are a bigger market than just Namibia. We are signatories to the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and Namibia has signed as well as ratified this agreement, which gives you an opportunity for a massive, massive African market, where we've really said, as the African continent, how do we work together to open up markets in the whole of Africa and not just Namibia. So our advanced logistical infrastructure and our capabilities, Namibia has invested heavily in its port, not only in infrastructure, but also in our service delivery. So at the moment, we've got a world-class uncongested port. We offer the highest quality roads in Africa. Namibia has been ranked #1 in the best roads in Africa for 5 consecutive years by the World Economic Forum. And we're expanding our railway network as well as technological connectivity. So the Namibian investment environment, I think we've probably got one of the well-based and well-developed financial and banking sectors and the 3rd largest pension fund industry in Africa. We've got a few options, competitive options, established FDI destination We've got multiple long-established and successful foreign investments and companies. Freedom from nationalization, in other words, investor protection. Unalienable rights enshrined in the Constitution, including right to private property. And on top of it, Namibia is probably one of the first countries who placed the protection of its environment within its constitution, within her constitution. So we take that very seriously. And investment repatriation, freedom to remit capital as well as your profits back to your country, and then the quality of life. If there's one country that we've heard it time and time again through research around our tourism sector, that this place, Namibia, offers great quality of life because of the wide open spaces. And we've offered you market access, as I've already alluded to. Our rule of law is established in functioning laws and regulations, including at the moment the Foreign Investment Act. Namibia is currently working on her new Namibia Investment Promotion and Facilitation Bill, which should be tabled, or should be done at least by early next year. So we're looking at that as well. But otherwise, when we are coming into Namibia as an investment destination, the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board was formed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia. And really, we are a public enterprise in the Office of the President. And there are key functions that we have. One is creating brand awareness and promoting investments to Namibia, basically providing general and specific information. We've got specific events such as this one that we're having this morning to attract investments to our country and to build partnerships to develop our country. Investment facilitation, so as we set up offices in Namibia, we've got a whole department within the NIPDB that will take care of investment services. So in terms of registering your business, we have a one-stop shop at the Namibia Investment Promotion Board. And then investor aftercare and policy advocacy. So we don't necessarily own policy, but we work with the policy owners to ensure that we have great policy to attract investment to Namibia. And on that note, Honourable Minister, thank you. Thank you, James.